Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is episode 14 of the Sigma Show. You confused me when you threw it. I thought you were gonna like. I don't know why, but that really threw me off. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
welcome everybody back to the show. Before I get into who's going to be joining me this week, real quick, we're just going to go over what our topics are for today. First up, Vicarious Visions will now be absorbed into Activision. Well, be absorbed into Blizzard proper to help them making specific Blizzard properties. So that's interesting. We'll talk about maybe what the ramifications of that will be. Also, it's pretty much confirmed that Apple is going to be releasing some VR technology in the future. We don't know exactly when, but we'll talk about what that means, what it could mean, etc. And last but not least, Microsoft recently let us know that they would be doubling their Xbox Live Gold membership, and then the next day kind of went back on their word. And I want to talk about all parts of what this means, like, them doing the announcement in the first place, the backtrack, how people's reaction to it may have affected this or not. But to join me and talk about all of these topics, I'm here with Blue Bones as usual.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy.
And first time on the show, I'm joined by Kiba.exe. What's up, Kiba? Let people know who you are, where you're from, what you do on the internet and such.
Hello, everyone. I am Kiba, aka the Keyblade Assassin. If you can't tell, I love Assassin's Creed, Kingdom Hearts, and Mega Man.
Good choices.
I stream. I know, right? I stream. I play video games, of course. I do some video editing. You might see some AMVs when they show you my links on Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah.
Trying to get them skills up. So y'all call me and be like, "Hey, Kiba, we need you to make a video," and be like, "I got hot fire for you." So,
He did our Smash tournament one, right?
Yes, sir.
That
Nice.
was dope. Our very
Yes,
first
sir.
one.
I'm trying to make sure like next time it's like the most amazing thing on the internet. But that's
You'll get
me.
there, bro. Just keep believing in yourself.
Exactly.
Shown it.
Ashley in the
Yeah,
chat says
yes,
we
Ash,
did,
we
but
did.
okay. But we're gonna jump right into our topics for the day. First up, this basically this is kind of an internal merger between Vicarious Visions and Blizzard. If you don't know, Vicarious Visions is an Activision studio. Activision Blizzard merged some time ago, so they're all under the same umbrella. Vicarious Visions, though, was basically behind a lot of the remakes that have come out recently out of Activision. They made the Insane trilogy for the Crash Bandicoot series. They remade all those older games, and they did Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, which was very well received. I don't know if anyone has played it, but it got pretty high rankings and was a pretty true to the source material remake of that game. But now they've kind of proven themselves so worthy that they said, all right, you're no longer going to do anything else but be a satellite studio to big Blizzard.
Yeah.
And specifically, it looks like they're going to now be working on the Diablo series. So what are you guys' takeaway from this information?
I believe they're also doing some work on Overwatch as well. I think, but anyway, with Diablo, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good move. I've been and Superman Jeff has been sending me all kinds of videos on the latest Diablo news.
Yeah, he's super
And
excited.
yeah, no, it looks good. It's definitely different. But seeing as Vicarious is pretty good with remakes and reboots so far, I think if they have a hand in Diablo, they're gonna be able to maintain the nostalgic feel with 2021, 2022, hopefully, mechanics. So I'm not apprehensive about this, and I wish them luck.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for World of Skatecraft because I think that's gonna be dope.
Skatecraft, huh?
No, really, what I want. No, really, what I want is a more action-based game out of Blizzard that's not a shooter. I think that would be cool. So, if they could help with something like that, that would be amazing.
Okay. How about you,
Yeah.
Kiba? What does this
Yeah.
look like is happening to you?
To me, it looks like you said, they're kind of getting sat down with the remakes. I don't know if that's good or bad. You get your experience up. You get what I would say clout.
Yeah.
They've been doing so well with the remakes. that eventually they might get their own IP or what have you, or new game for whatever series, because they're able to take what exists and continue on with it. But so far it just kind of seems like kind of like a hand-me-down process, at least.
Yeah, I'm kind
me
of in that
being
camp.
Salty. Like, I don't know if that's just me. I don't have any siblings or anything, so I have no reason to like feel like that, but that's just kind of how I see it. Like, that's what it kind of look like.
No, that
But,
makes
they do.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm kind of in that boat where I feel like it's kind of a backhanded reward.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing so well remaking other people's properties. I would think the natural progression is either give them an old property to make a new entry and like maybe allow them to make the next Tony Hawk or the next Crash Bandicoot. And then like if they can do well doing that, then give them their own free reign to make a brand new IP. Like Activision, for example, doesn't really have that many IPs. They keep rehashing the same IPs over and over again. Like they need new stuff. They have a studio that has been doing okay. Like give them a chance. Like what is? Well, I guess there's a lot of money to be lost if they.
I was about to say, like, why do they need to do new stuff? And now I'm only talking from like, if I was talking from the top down, what I imagine the top down is saying, like, why do we need to change the formula? Call of Duty's selling every year, like every time we put it out. What do we need to flex them for?
Yeah.
But of course, the consumer and the game enthusiast in me is like, yeah, let them try something different. I just don't know what the lucrative move would be to pitch that.
I guess that is like the root of the problem. Like Activision, probably more so than any other of these big, huge publishers, is very adverse to doing something new. Like they will run a franchise into the dirt, and then once it's in the dirt, they'll give it like maybe a couple years break, and then they'll try to revitalize it again. They're like, hey, so like this does kind of track, I guess, with Activision's track record. But to give Vicarious Visions wholesale to Blizzard, I wonder, like, is it that Blizzard needs the extra help with Diablo 4, or is it they want to lock Vicarious Visions into doing that Diablo? What is it? The first one or the second one that they've been planning a remake for like years now?
Are you talking about Diablo Immortal?
No, isn't that the mobile thing?
Yeah, that's the mobile one.
Is that the mobile? Yeah.
That's the mobile one that was mentioned in the Verge article.
Yeah, no, because there was supposed to be. Well, no one knew about the what do you call it? The mobile one when they made that big announcement. They were expecting either the remake announcement or Diablo 4, and they got neither. They got the mobile game, which everyone was pissed about. But after that falling out, they did say we will make a remake. There will be Diablo 4. So it does kind of track that Vicarious Visions might be being brought in to just handle the remake, which again just feels like it's in line with what they have been doing. But why'd they have to kind of dismantle that studio as a separate entity to do that? Like it feels like they don't.
So they can have more direct control. More direct.
Do you think that gives
control.
them more direct control over it?
I think it gives Blizzard more direct control. Yeah. They don't have to go through.
Right. Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm saying. Like Vicarious Visions is no more at that point. It's like they're just another part of Blizzard. So I kind of feel bad for those guys. But I guess they're the president of that studio. Yeah, he basically got promoted up into.
Yeah, he got promoted to like vice, right?
Yeah, he's vice president of like Blizzard now or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like I feel like they all kind of moved up together. Hopefully, it's a move up for everybody and not just the head, right? Hopefully, that's the case. We're assuming so. But if not, that definitely suck. Yeah, like give him a raise, man. Come on now, give him a title change.
Ash in the chat is saying, I like the thought of letting them make a new game from an old IP, since they are able to keep the old school magic but make it modern. And Lampy is right, though. That is different making new IP. So continuing an old series but making a new game in it sounds like a good middle ground to see how they do. Yeah, that's exactly where I thought.
Diablo 4.
Oh, you wouldn't want to give a new studio Diablo 4.
Just be like that.
Oh man, you try to start a riot.
I mean, because the creating studio still exists. Like it's not like a defunct IP, like people are still waiting on that. So that would be a crazy risk for a brand new studio, that big IP. So I wouldn't imagine that, but I don't know.
What people have been saying about Blizzard recently is like they used to be the god of story-based games, but now so
since that Activision merger, I feel like a lot of Blizzard stuff has started to suffer and be watered down, and just kind of get negative reviews in general. Like even if the game ends up coming out and being fine, just a lot of stuff around it, like the marketing, the announcements, like like microtransactions, stuff like that. Just they've been missing in a lot of those aspects, and it really does chip away and damage that that goodwill that gamers have had with Blizzard up till now.
I feel like Blizzard kind of feels like Sony in a way, where, or I should say PlayStation, where they have such loyal fans, they can kind of do what they want.
They can,
you know what I
basically
mean? I can
be
say
the
Nintendo with the
in
same
an
thing.
abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying that's exactly what they're doing. But I'm saying they could if they wanted to. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, Pokemon fans got it.
There are tons
Nintendo
of
in
examples
general.
for sure. Yeah. But yeah, it's like you have such a loyal fan base that
Okay.
the company will start to take advantage, and because they feel like they can do no wrong. Doesn't matter what they do, everybody's happy, or everyone will buy it even if they're not happy. So it's something to keep in mind for sure. But
and that's where the power of the consumer comes in to not buy stuff. If
yes,
you don't
like that,
like
you
it.
do have the
know-
option to not buy things.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of games out there. Yo.
There's a pandemic, you'd save some
I
money.
know. Yeah, real talk.
Lampy's asking, does Blizzard care though with the WoW money rolling in?
And yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That loyal fan base. And Shadowlands just dropped. They had all kinds of spikes and subscriptions to WoW. Like they're not hurting money wise, at least.
So you would think that would give them an opportunity to take a chance, but I honestly, it's that Activision factor. Like they don't want to innovate unless they know it's going to be a sure thing.
What?
And that's impossible to know. So it's like they keep giving you the blandest, most boring tries at giving you a quote unquote new thing.
Overwatch 2 finna be lit.
You would hope whenever
Wasn't
that comes
supposed
out.
to be a thing?
Right, like they had not talked about it at all for so long.
Yeah, I'm just.
Oh man. I
what
mean,
do they
well,
do?
this Diablo Immortals game was announced in like 2018 or something like that,
Yeah.
and it's just resurfacing. So they're known to poke their head out and then go underground for a while, then come back out. So we'll see. They're
Yeah.
prairie dogging it.
So they're prairie dogging it. We'll hopefully hear more about the specifics of what Vicarious Visions is going to be working on. I do hope at the very least they can just take over the remaster, so maybe they'll have some autonomy that way.
Mhm.
And if they knock that out of the park, maybe it'll still be under the Blizzard banner, but it'll be their B team, C team, whatever you want to call it, and they'll eventually get to make a new thing of their own. Because I'm sure that's what every developer wants, right? Like you get into video games because you either have a great idea that you want to see come to life, or you want to work on a franchise you grew up playing. So
Yeah.
either way, I think it might be a good look for
And
them.
right there, that last point that you made, I think, is a lot of Blizzard employees working on these old school games that have been going on for the Warcraft series. Not even World of Warcraft. The Warcraft series is still going. StarCraft is still huge. You know what I mean? Like, you have these age-old games that are still getting new and modern updates that people want to jump into that culture. So I'm not going to call it a cult, but, they're pretty loyal.
Yeah, it's not far off. Like, it's not a cult, but it's a cult. All right. Ash says he's waiting patiently on that mobile game, Diablo Immortal. So yeah, as soon as we know when that's coming out, we'll let you guys know. But you got Ash reads the news. I'm sure he'll know when it comes out. And Darth Tommy, what's up? Welcome. We're gonna move on to our next topic, though. Apple reportedly planning to launch a VR headset sometime next year. They just recently launched their very expensive headset. So that's kind of a glimpse into what Apple does in terms of hardware, like aside from the phones, right? So like, what is your take on Apple VR/AR?
I think it's probably going to cost my firstborn. But on top of that, it's nothing I was really looking for. I think when in the article here they described they kind of gave a vague description of what the hardware was going to look like. They said it wanted to be lighter. It was going to have a cloth base. There wasn't a whole bunch of room for glasses, but like something you could fit in there. So I think they're trying to be sleek. They're trying to be just like Apple normally is, user friendly. And stylish. You know, that's the posh look. So I think they're delivering on that. But practicality, I don't see anything telling me that it's going to be any different from any other VR set that I've seen used and put down.
Okay, what about you, Kiba?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Because it's Apple, and at least right now, they're known for, selling something that other people have, but putting the Apple logo on it and saying it's worth, thousands of dollars. But they also have the I guess the brand to make it look, like he said, posh, and so make you feel like, I guess, you are head and shoulders above the rest of the VR owners.
Yeah, that's like they want to be the trendy, the boutique brand,
right?
Yeah.
And
for everyone else, but like they haven't shown, or I mean, we don't have the details, but I doubt they really have the technology that is, up to really go above that. Like, will I be able to hear or feel? Probably not. It'll be the same. Like what they rolled out their gaming experience or whatever, like their game like app or something.
Apple Arcade.
Yeah, and has anyone talked or like really played that?
Well, I there was like a free trial, like
How
the
much
first
was
month
it?
it launched.
$100?
I think it's like, honestly, it's like $5 a month, which is not bad.
It's not
it's
terrible.
not bad. It's $5 a month.
It's actually a pretty good library too.
And like the games that it
okay.
launched with were actually really good. There were like some dope little mobile experiences on that game. Some of them translated over to like PC shortly thereafter
I saw that.
as well.
Right.
So yeah. Okay. So you don't need to be locked into it, which is good. But they do that exclusivity thing where it's there first for a set number of time.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know how well it's doing now. Like it had a good start, but I don't know if they're maintaining it. But that's a good point to bring up. Like Apple's not really knocking it out of the park in terms of gaming. So for them adding a VR device, I would assume then that their goal isn't to have it be specifically for gaming. Like the possibilities for VR are going to be huge eventually. But right now, companies want to sell it to you as a gaming device because we all know gamers are usually at the forefront of like pushing new technology into the household, Like it's your gamer friend or your gamer child who's basically going to be like, hey, we need broadband internet. Hey, we need
this kind of TV.
Yeah, we need this kind of TV. Like, like they're the ones who push all that stuff. So it's a smart idea to get them in on it first. But I wonder if that's who Apple's going to target, because Apple, usually they just target the rich, honestly. Like they release stuff and it's like, you want this because we're telling you want it, and people just buy it. So if they can get a big enough market space, then
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like, if you get a big enough market space of people just buying the thing, then you'll get people making software for it, and that's kind of a twofold problem there. It's like you need the software to support the hardware.
Yeah. I definitely get touches of FOMO when I see people with new Apple technology because it looks cool. The little earbuds at first, I'm like, yo, that looks so weird. But he's having a very clear conversation with somebody, and I don't understand it. But I definitely want to try one. You know what I mean?
Like they're really good at that. Like you have to give them credit. Like their design team is
I didn't
amazing.
get one, by the way.
You
For the record, I did not. No, I did not. I did not get it. I wasn't super tempted to, but that was the initial reaction. And if I see people walking around with these like Ninja Turtle looking headbands over the, you know what I mean? And then they got the glasses fit, so you got the AR, so they really just in the cyberpunk world while I'm just shopping at Publix. And it's gonna be FOMO. It's gonna be a little bit,
No, it's a real factor,
Yeah.
Like And the more, celebrities or the rich or whoever, like people with influence, literal influencers, the more they use that kind of thing and rave about it, assuming there's going to be an experience for them to rave about, the more everybody else is going to, scrimp and save and try to get one of their own. And honestly, if it's doing something that the other brands can't do, like even I would, because you guys know I'm not the biggest Apple support. Like I don't like their tech, I don't like their software, I don't like how they do business for the most part. But if they're offering an experience that I cannot get anywhere else, my interest is going to be piqued because I want to know what that's like.
Same thing with PlayStation.
Right.
For me,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? I think the services are relatively crappy, but there's some really good games that I definitely want to experience, and that's the pull over there.
Yeah, so like Apple is pretty much trying to bring you even deeper into their what's the word? Their
Ecosystem.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So you'll be you'll be all Apple all the time, because that you brought up a good point, and I didn't even think about that, of course, because we're talking about gaming. They could be using it for other things. They could have the AR. It'd be like the HoloLens. That was the thing. Don't forget about that.
That's the main thing that I'm thinking about. I don't even care about when it comes to VR, man. I'm just gonna go on to YouTube and do the VR videos and be on a roller coaster for like 10 minutes and be like, oh, okay, that was fun. But when it comes to AR, if I got a HUD on here on Life, from Apple, son,
right? Like those are the experiences that are really gonna revolutionize the future. Like we're in the 2020s, mind you. Like this is supposed to be the future.
It's supposed to.
Like when you say 2021, it's like it used to be 20XX, right? Like, no, like this is the future.
I'd be on my hoverboard right now.
Exactly. So give me all of that stuff. Like if the problem is that it's not mainstream enough, and Apple being one of the most mainstream hardware makers on the planet, they can be in a position to push like Quest and Oculus and HTC Vive. Like they're big companies, but like they don't have the kind of sway that Apple does. So if Apple jumps full force on this, one, we'll probably get a bunch more people making VR stuff that could maybe eventually trickle out to the other platforms and give them more content that's maybe quality. And two, you'll get more copycats. There'll be other companies who are also making VR devices, I think, trying to compete with Apple.
Excellent point. And here's an example of that, right? Same story with the earbuds. I saw them things first. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Definitely not shelling out any kind of money that they asking for, right? Eventually, a couple of weeks ago, me and the lady bought some Skull Candy earbuds that were similar, but a super fraction of the price, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. So I still got that experience eventually, but it's going to be a timed exclusive. It's really going to be a timed exclusive. And if they start putting a HUD on Life, I can't wait to see how the other people do it.
Well, that Asher Redux is talking about possible prices in the chat.
I gotta see this.
It was interesting that they said like they were basically ignoring people who wear glasses in the sense of making a tighter, like smaller fit, right? But to compensate for that, they're allowing you to basically put prescription lenses in the headset, which clearly is going to be extra money. Like if you wear glasses, like you need glasses to see, you're gonna have to pay more money because you're gonna have to get spare lenses. Or I guess you could just pop them out of your glasses if you're that gully. Like if they don't mean nothing to you, you can just do that. But
I am not the one.
Like 25,000 per lens.
Yeah, like they really aren't concerned with economy, I guess. Like they're like, we're gonna make supposedly the best technology we can make and get in where you fit in. But with that kind of adherence to just the quality of the device, what do you think Apple could do that could set itself apart from these other hardware manufacturers? Because the Quest now, which is I think the most recent, I think the Quest 3 is the most recent Oculus device. It does not need wires anymore.
Hey,
and it has like the motion controllers that come with it, I think. Like I'm not 100% sure. I'll look it up in a second as you guys are giving me your thoughts. But yeah, like what do you think Apple can do that kind of beats out the competition right now?
Get rid of the controllers. If they can have accurate gesture recognition, that's gonna blow this out the water.
Okay.
I mean, let's talk anime nerd stuff. How many times have we wanted to jump into a video game like that? What's the I can't remember it right now. But how many times do you want that? I'm stuck on a heads-up display of Life, real talk, because that's what AR. That's what I want AR to be. You know what I mean? I want to be sitting here and sending an email with my right eye and texting somebody with my left eye. You know what I mean? And I want to be opening up a YouTube screen going like this, like, come on,
Right,
bro, move
yeah.
that, you know, enhance. You know, I want all that. And we're close. I feel like we can be close.
I feel like it's somewhere in the military. The military got access to it.
No, you're probably right. Yeah,
it starts.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's how
and then it comes down.
Anything happens. Yeah.
No, that's a really good pull. Yeah.
It's definitely there's definitely just like you said, in the military they're gonna have better technology that'll be trickled down to commercial size. And yeah, so I think getting rid of the controller would be mind blowing. And having the gesture recognition actually be accurate for many different type of people. Let's see that. Let's see that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I don't think I can come up with anything better than that. That makes perfect sense.
Take like the motion recognition, from like the Xbox camera,
the Kinect.
Yeah, the Kinect. And then take all that data, put it into their service, get rid of the controllers. Maybe they'll do like a little pad or something on your hand, or a glove.
Oh, if they did a glove,
like a fingerless glove. Oh man. How pretentious? How pretentious would somebody look with a VR headset and a freaking fingerless glove going?
So the first fingerless gloves are going to be all white, right?
Of course,
of course.
There's no doubt about it.
They're going to be walking around like Michael Jackson.
You're going to be dirty in a week. You're going to have to buy another $300 pair of
$300 gloves.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Imagine you smack somebody with them and they break.
Boy,
livid. How dare
I would fight you right now.
That was $500.
Because, if you think about it, or some of the sci-fi stuff. I said sci-fi. I don't know why I said sci-fi.
Yeah.
What is it?
Sci-fi makes
science
sense.
fiction. Yeah, you got it.
I don't know what I was thinking of. All right, so I think I was thinking of Star Wars, Too Far Away, and then
closer.
Got you. Yeah. So some of them that we've seen, they had like the goggles, and then they've had the glove to really identify things. I can't remember if Iron Man had that or if he was just straight hand, like the first movie.
I'm trying to remember. I think
it
was just
I feel like it was just freehanding.
Okay, but some of the other movies that I can't think of right now and stuff I
think Minority Report was big on that too.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, thank you. Woo!
That was a big thing in Minority Report.
That could be the process, because they can't go super controllers yet, but they can get the feedback from your fingers and your hand to then go to the screen or whatever to have you apply that.
So that makes a lot of sense. I would probably say the visual fidelity, because that's probably where you get the biggest pullback on VR. Like that's where they kind of need to make concessions. We have all these 4K screens and stuff now, but when you go into VR, the resolution is it's kind of terrible, because to process that much visual whatever is way too much for those tiny headset shaped devices.
Especially right in your face.
Right, yeah, to get it right in your face like that. Because you're taking all those pixels and you're shrinking them down to just eyeball size, right? But Apple, they're really good at making displays. They may put a ton of money, effort, and resources into making it so that when you look through that thing, it looks better than everything else. So that could be a real draw, I feel like, is just making it look like the kind of VR we think it should look like versus what we actually have right now. So I think that could be a big one.
Yeah. That's a good one.
But anything left on the Apple stuff before we move on to our final topic?
No, let's talk about more shenanigans, bro.
All right, then. So, not too long ago, Microsoft, finally, everyone was seeing this coming, finally announced, hey, we're going to be raising the price of Xbox Live Gold, up from $60 a month around this time last year to now $120. They got rid of the ability to even pay for it in full for a year.
You said a month?
No, I'm sorry, not a month. $120 for the year. Right. But you can't actually buy it up front, for a year, right?
That's just added total.
Yeah, they changed it to monthly and then 3 months, and the maximum is 6 months at a time. You can just get the gold service.
Okay.
Pretty quickly, people were upset. clearly this was a push, I think, to get people to move away from gold and to just adopt Ultimate, because the value there is you get gold included, and then it's an extra $5 from what you were paying for gold, and you get this huge library of games that you can just download and play, even on the cloud. And if you're getting if you have a PC that you can use, like there's a separate category of games that you also play on PC, right?
Yep.
But people were so kind of put off by Microsoft's announcement of doing this that the day after they basically said, oh, okay, fine, we'll keep all the pricing the same, and in addition to that, you no longer need gold to play any of the free-to-play games that are on the service. Because before you did, you had, in order to play online, period, you needed to have Xbox Live Gold, which was that
was messed up.
Yeah, it was kind of a thing of contention for a long time, but people kind of just got used to it, right? Yeah. Now they did away with it. What do you guys think about Microsoft's goals in trying to raise Xbox Live Gold to maybe push people to Game Pass, and they're kind of caving in at the internet backlash immediately after? Like, how does that strike you?
I'll let Kiba go first.
Yeah, go ahead, Kiba.
All right. So I think it's hilarious, number one, that they were able to just flip a switch and was like, all right, here you go. You can play the free games without gold. Like, it was no hard process or anything. They just had it ready. They was like, flip the switch or like pull the lever crunk or something.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, why you just have that in the pocket? Why didn't you just do that?
Yeah, it was like an emergency. Oh, take it off. It was the panic.
It was like
a
check box on the window.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we still had that clicked on. Dang.
Oh, my bad. I didn't see you say that for like 10 years. Oops.
Y'all never said that.
But,
I was muted the whole time.
So that was funny to me. But then it's also very interesting to see how, in this age of social media, public opinion really just wrecks house. Like, Sonic,
yes,
we're redoing this. And this, we're taking it back. And there's been a couple of things where like people put something out and then it's been taken back. Cyberpunk, of course, you know, but that was always kind of going to happen with or without. So, but and then it's also interesting to see it not happen with other games and other.
Right, like other companies who...
Yeah, like 2K and, again, Pokemon and stuff. Like, people say things, but they still keep buying it, and they don't do any really thing about it. So it's a weird situation there, but we're not going to talk about that. So with the Microsoft, like I said, it's interesting that they put it out. It was like they were doing the hokey pokey. They was like, here you go. And they're like, okay, we saw that wasn't good. But like you were saying, it seems like it was a push towards Ultimate, and I don't think people really like thought about it, like, because they're like, oh my god, you're changing this, and it's like, we hear you, but like there's this Ultimate, and it's
like that. It's like they're trying to. It was kind of like a punishment to the people who aren't up to date, but only because if you just paid attention, there's a better option.
Right.
Like they were trying to make it clear, like, look, get off of gold. Like we've had it for this long. We know that it was this way for a long time, but like there's a better option. Go there. Please go over there. Get off of this. Their execution though was to overcharge you for it. So you're basically just going to be penalized for as long as you decide to say, I don't want to go over to this other service.
That's
so,
the way to move people,
right, yeah. So I think that was the thing that really rubbed people the wrong way. It's like they really felt like they were being punished because maybe, you guys have heard me stan Game Pass for the last year. Like I think it's such a great service.
It is.
At least.
So I don't see any reason for anyone who's playing on the Xbox ecosystem to ignore it. You should have Game Pass if you play on Xbox
or
PC even.
To be honest,
but you should have it. So
I got. My game backlog is too big, so.
So when Microsoft does something like this, like my initial reaction wasn't, "Oh man, that sucks," because at first I was worried they were raising the price of Game Pass Ultimate, which wasn't the case, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because I'm like the value in Ultimate is so good that they probably should raise the price of it based on what you're getting. I don't want them to, but they probably should. And when I first saw this news, I'm like, oh crap, here it comes. Here's that price increase. But no, it was for just gold. And immediately I recognized they're trying to tell people, get off gold, go to ultimate. It's better here. And I guess they just went about it the wrong way. But honestly, I feel like the people who are complaining about it just don't have ultimate. Like they're kind of hung up on this. Well, I don't want to pay this price. I don't care about the games that are in the library, maybe, and they want to keep doing what they've always been doing. And like, honestly, you should move on. I really feel like you should just move on into a new thing. I'm with Microsoft. I'm like, they should have let this stand and punish whoever is being in the past. Like, move on. That's how I feel. I'm sorry.
I totally understand. I did just check the price of Ultimate just to make sure. What is it, $15 a month?
Yeah, it's $15 a month.
Months free.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if people do the math, that's $180 a year, and they're like, well, Xbox Gold is only $60 a year, so that's manageable for them, I guess, or whatever. And so I can see it for some people who like, they need to play online, but they don't really have the funds, and this is a way that they can do that. Without being moved into some situation. I don't know people's lifestyles, so I can't judge them and say you really can't spend $15 a month. I can, but not everybody can. And in fact, recently I couldn't. But so I mean,
okay,
I understand where people would come from that, but I feel like, especially in the pandemic, but I feel like the general like fans, who buy probably a game for Xbox or something, or like nowadays a loot box microtransaction, something at least once a month. Like you could probably throw that out, but for those who can't, I understand. Can't be mad at you.
I think Kiba said so. Kiba said two different things that rung with me and kind of the kind of points of how I think about this. So essentially the conspiracy theorist in me was like, good job, Microsoft. This is a great act. We know you wasn't going to double them prices. You just wanted to turn off the gold and look good afterwards, right? It was the same thing, the same thought I had with the Sonic thing. Ain't no way anybody thought that was going to pass. But they redid it just to be like, oh, we listen to our fans. That's the conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, there's always a possibility of something like that being the case, but why wouldn't they just? Because they could have got all the goodwill without any of the backlash initially by just saying, "Hey, going forward."
People like drama, and it didn't hurt them at the end of the day.
I mean, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
They was happy. Everybody's happy now. Look, we all talking about it, and nobody was talking about gold up until just now. So he's like, "Oh, let's bring it right back up." And so we're gonna raise the price, scare everybody. Nah, we just playing. And guess what? You don't even have to. And so now going back to Kiba's second point about people might not be able to afford it, right? Not only if you were buying gold before just to play Fortnite, now you don't even have to do that. You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So they're saying not only do we care about y'all, we're not going to raise the prices, we're also going to get you all your free games for free. So it was kind of like, if they had just turned that off, people would have been like, you should have done that a long time ago anyway, right? Kind of like how we was saying. Yeah,
because they probably should have.
But this is veiled as an apology and as oh my gosh, I can't think of the word, but it's an apology for the announcement as a raising prices. So while I think overall it's a good move for the consumers, like it's a good deal for the consumers. I felt like there might have been shadiness with the whole, because it all happened so quick and it all happened so concise. It was just like even said, they had this in the bag, man. They just unclicked the thing.
It really does seem like they were prepared for this.
They were super prepared.
So let's say that they were, or at the very least, they knew that the announcement was gonna be contentious, so they were like, in case we get this level of backlash, we'll do this instead, right? But like, what kind of a message do you feel like that sends to these fan communities about their level of control over the companies that provide services for them? Because in this instance, I don't think it's so bad that it was overturned. Like, I think this was a good version, same with the Sonic situation. But one of the earlier situations like this I can think of is with the Mass Effect 3 ending, where people were not happy with the way that game concluded, and the devs actually went back and released a new version of the ending, which in hindsight I felt was actually kind of worse. Like if you would have just let the fans speculate on the kind of vague, because it wasn't the greatest ending, I'll admit to that, but there was a lot of speculation about what it could mean in the community, and I thought that conversation was actually amazing. When they went back and tied it off, they kind of killed all that. They were like, no, this is what happened, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's just bad. All right, understood, it's just bad.
I thought that the new ending was overall, it had a positive feedback on it. A lot of people said it fixed it. Right now, I haven't personally finished that game because it was pretty rough to get through, but yeah, I've heard that it's been fixed. So maybe I think for you that was a negative turnover, but I think in general that was an example of a positive one. And I don't know, when you're talking about how much control the fans have over the content, if this was a move on Microsoft to say, hey, we listen to you guys, it was a solid move. There's nothing we can say to prove that they weren't, you know what I mean? And that is attractive to people who are getting into anything new. You know, hey, I want to try video gaming. Do I do Xbox, PlayStation? Well, Xbox was going to raise their prices, but they listened to everybody and they dropped the prices and made everything better. You know, you ain't heard nothing from Sony in a long time. Boy. So granted, you're like,
no, yeah, it's a good point. So, like, they're that good guy Microsoft persona that they've been steadily cultivating for several months now. Like, they're very desperate to hang on to it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, what? We're bringing crossplay to all our things, and you can play our games anywhere, and Sony won't let you do any of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and we listen to you, and we care about your money. That's what they saying now.
Yep. So,
right. I mean, you can't argue with it.
like the Fat Stack said, you know, more like a marketing ploy. You know, get people riled up, because it's kind of like, it's not free marketing, because I'm sure they have to pay to somebody to write up that Twitter. Write up that tweet. You know, free marketing, and the fact that you get marketing for all your Xbox Live, because everybody gets to go, and you get ad traffic because everybody's looking like, what do you mean on, you know, the Xbox site? And then they see, you know, the gold is still the same, or then they see the Ultimate Pass and they see the description and like, oh, okay, maybe I will do that, because, you know, that's better than gold. So it's kind of like free advertisement for the rest of their services in a way. And then, like you said, is you're the good guys now, you know, you listen to us, and even though we had to rage for it, we'll forget it next week, and you'd be like,
right,
oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
we love you.
Yeah, it's like the goodwill that comes after the rage is always like multiple times higher, right? It's like, oh, we did it, guys, now let's celebrate. Right. Not, you better had, and next time don't let me catch you slipping. You know what I mean?
Exactly, that's how we should be. Like, y'all should have had these free-to-play games free, and there was no reason to double the price on gold. Gold? I mean, what y'all need the extra money for?
Again, you're right. They don't need an extra money. You're absolutely right.
From gold?
But I do. It was a crappy way to go about it. But the intention, I still feel like, was just to move people off of it. Like, I'm assuming
I definitely get that.
They eventually probably want to just discontinue gold entirely, right? But I'm sure there's a considerable number of people who they use gold because that's what they've been using, you know? And if those people would just pay attention enough to see, like, there's another option here, like, just pay attention. That's all you do. All you have to do is pay attention. Realize, oh, you know what? This isn't that bad. I can move on to this. Then you don't need, well, gold's like wrapped into it. The experience you've been having is wrapped into it, and you get all these other extra services or whatever.
I'd like to agree with you 100%, but I can't, and just because of what Kiba said before, it's not the same price. It's cheaper. So you can't just mess with people who have something that they like just to kick them. I mean, you can obviously do it, but it's messed up.
Yeah, you're right. Because at least they're getting something more. You know, they're saying, like, move over to this thing. It is more expensive, but you're getting all this. It's still a good value based on what you're getting. But you're right. That person may not give a crap. They may not want whatever this extra thing is. They're happy with what they want. And like, boom, that's it, right?
Like I was saying earlier, Like, I got a backlog. I'm good right now.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Oh, your service is great, but this list right here says I can wait.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Let me look at chat real quick.
Yeah, these people.
Yeah,
I love
I've been
it.
looking
I
through.
love it.
Lampy says, you have to be careful with these voices on social media. Quite often, it's a very vocal, but also minority of the fan base's users, and that's a really good point. Like that's
True.
like you don't know what everybody's thinking, but if there's a good number of people who are so upset about it that they're gonna voice it to you, sometimes
That's what matters.
yeah, sometimes you do have to pay attention because they're the ones who are kind of representing all the other rage of people who just won't bother. But then again,
Those are the influencers, though. That's the
you
thing.
know what? You're right.
Those are the influencers, the vocal minority, and they are important. I'm not saying that, the Mass Effect fix was a good fix. I'm saying that the vocal minority said that it was a good fix that I heard. And that's what a lot of people listen to, and that's what Xbox is claiming to have listened to when they're retconning what they just put out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, just reading through.
They
some of
going.
this
Yeah,
stuff.
I know. It's
Yeah,
popping
that's
right
wild.
now.
Ash is positing that eventually they'll
Yeah.
have to do, like he said earlier, just say, hey, this year is the last year of gold. Next year, we're going to go just to Game Pass, no matter what they do. One day, that's going to be inevitable. It's just Thanos snap, and especially once they start pumping out exclusives with their new studios. Right. That's definitely a possibility.
And then when you there's going to be a percentage of gold-only subscribers who upgrade to Game Pass. Hopefully, I'm gonna cross my fingers. That will be enough extra revenue so they don't have to raise our prices on Game Pass for a little while. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
I would love.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm dreading is that Game Pass price hike.
Because Netflix just popped up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
They,
There's a lot of companies that are dropping $1 or $2 and adding extra perks, extra HD perks to or 4-account perks.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Look, Netflix got to compete with Disney and technically Hulu because it basically owns that too.
Yeah,
with Fox
and Amazon
stuff,
Prime.
So,
and
okay, Amazon Prime, man.
What you mean,
no, there's
Ed?
some good stuff on there, man.
Are you kidding?
I was sleep on Amazon Prime for a long time. There's some good.
They
stuff
got
on
a
it.
good original
That's why I
content on
said,
there, bro.
but you know they're
Oh
getting up there.
man, that hurts.
And who else is getting up there? Microsoft. They're gearing up for something, and they've been doing it for the past couple of years. They're buying. They're buying these IPs. They're making sure everything you can play everything in almost anywhere. They tried their hand at cloud gaming real quick. They
and it wasn't bad.
No,
No, it's working.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's working. But they're gearing up. They're getting all they're literally grinding. They're getting their items. They're buying their
You're
armor.
absolutely right. Yeah,
And
they're
ready
in
to
the
go
gym.
fight the boss. Like that's what it seems like they're doing right now. If you pay attention to what has been going on,
Microsoft moving.
it seemed like they about to hit that save and they about to go in.
Yeah, it's about to be boss battle time. Pop the ult.
Superman Jeff in the chat says, "Hi, gents. What up?
What up, Superman Jeff? What up, boy?"
Hulu's interesting. New streaming platforms don't consider it something they have to beat because it's US only, and they'd rather have international subscribers because there's so much more money to get in.
I didn't realize Hulu was US only.
I didn't know that either, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because it's also Disney. Like Disney Plus, I'm assuming is international, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Hulu's supposed to be going international early this year.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Probably
So I wonder if they'll show regional content on it, because as far as I can tell, most of what's on Hulu are like American TV shows and movies and stuff.
Fair.
Like I just watched The White Tiger on Netflix last night. Like that's a through and through Indian movie.
Yeah,
Like, it was dope, but it's an Indian movie, you know.
Okay.
Like I don't know how many Indian movies are on Hulu.
They have some. I don't know, but they have some. They have some Asian movies because I can't remember what specifically it's from, and some of those look like really good. And then didn't they also have Parasite? Or was that
They had
different?
Parasite on there, but
Yeah.
that was more because
Yeah, that kind
it
of
had
got
clout.
international
Get
acclaim.
around, but
Yeah.
I thought about the same thing, but Parasite was dope. Parasite was
I
crazy.
think
Y'all
about
gotta
it
watch
every
that.
like every week.
No, I've seen
Like,
Parasite. It was good.
that
Bruh,
stuff
it
is
is so
wild.
beautifully shot. Oh my
It's
gosh.
it's
Okay.
it's great.
Woo.
We saw
Tommy asked an interesting question earlier. It said, "What
Yep.
will we do if Game Pass prices go up? Where to go? What to do? How to find balance in life?" Honestly, I'm just gonna pay it. Like I hate to
it's
admit that.
easier, unfortunately.
Yeah, I really hate to admit because it's the same thing with Netflix. Like Netflix prices going up. Like I'm not getting rid of Netflix. Like I'm just pay it. Sorry. I wish I didn't have to, but it's the only way I could get the stuff I watch. I cut the cord for
legally.
cable.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Because no, that's important though. You know,
No, you're right.
You're totally right.
There's a lot of people that we've grown up with now that
I'm
are
not gonna talk
the
about
industry.
it.
Look, hey, look, we
FBI
bumping,
about to
man.
get me.
We were alive during the Napster era. Okay, we know how that worked.
That LimeWire virus.
You know, you wouldn't steal a car. The whole stealing. But it's important to buy stuff legally to support the things that you like and that you want to see more of. And illegally downloading it doesn't help that. And it really doesn't.
I mean, I've said this before, but it's that price to convenience graph or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if the price is so high that you really it's inconvenient to deal with that, you're gonna see the pirating go up. Like that's just par for the course. But if they reach a reasonable number of, hey, you can get this content for this price and it's easy, it's right there, it's legal, boom. You get Netflix, you get Disney Plus, you get whatever. The more of these they add and the more they section these properties off, you're gonna see a rise in the pirating. Like it's like math.
Yeah. What is it? That's kind of why, like, with manga, like, I want to buy manga and support the writers and authors and whatnot, but it's like, one, I need like 15 bookshelves.
It's inconvenient, right?
It's inconvenient. Like it's easier to just scroll or whatever. I think there's some apps that you can.
There's
pay
some
for.
good apps.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
that
Yeah,
you can read some.
The one that I'm paying for is like I think it's like $2 a month, and it's the Shonen Jump one, and they
boom, there you go.
But does
they
the money go back
update it.
to the author? You know, that's another
That's a good question.
I gotta wonder
That's a good
about.
question.
Like,
And then you get into morality of capitalism.
right.
So that's a
So
whole big thing.
if I'm not paying the author anyways with buying this service, you know, I might as well.
You're right.
But that is a whole other conversation, to be fair, like the whole piracy thing. So, I mean, do we have any lingering thoughts on Microsoft's flip-flop here, or Xbox Live Gold in general, or the fan backlash?
Look, like I said, Microsoft was gearing up for something. Be ready. We'll see what happens when it comes, I guess. But
Okay, I mean, right now I think they're in a good position, like maybe short of great, because they still because in all honesty, like as much as I love what they have been doing, their biggest hurdle to get over is just, you know, those buzzworthy first party games. Like still, like we know that they're supposed to be coming, but they haven't come yet. So like I think that is that final hurdle. Like once they start launching all the stuff from Bethesda, all the stuff from their new first party studios, I think it'll be a completely different story. Like, and I worry though that if they do flip the script, maybe they become the more popular, the better selling of the big three consoles, then they'll feel like they have the clout to then just raise those prices. Because right now they need to keep playing the underdog, the everyman, you know, the community's gaming company, not those elite PlayStation guys, but yeah, we're in the dirt with you guys kind of company, you know. Like if they surpass them, I think that's when you're gonna start seeing those prices go up. But that's my guess.
When it comes to this flip-flop situation, I think that at the end of the day, it worked out for consumers, and I don't necessarily commend Xbox for doing it, but I'm glad they clicked the button You know, make a free to play. Like, how does that sound?
Yeah, it just makes sense, and they finally got around to it, and they let the fans at least think that it was them who did it. So I don't know. People are happy right now. So
yeah, that's why. Like,
we'll
that's why
leave
I'm
it at
not
that.
like. They got this one.
But that's going to do it for today's episode of The Sigma Show. I want to thank Blue for coming through. I want to thank Kiba for coming through. Real quick, Blue, what do you want people to pay attention to from you coming up this week, if you have anything?
What's going on, folks? This week, I'm going to knock stuff off my desk real quick. I'm also going to be streaming. I was supposed to do it last week, but we had some scheduling issues, but that's coming up. Matt the Bandit King and myself on Friday. We're gonna be playing it's called Way Out or The Way Out. It's
A Way Out?
A Way Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing A Way Out. That co-op. I think it's Escape from Jail. I didn't really pay attention to it. I've seen it around, but I'm glad that I don't have prior knowledge.
Right.
So we're gonna be going into this fresh. Hopefully it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure it will. And then Free For All Friday is coming up again. Last week we had a really good time on Destiny 2.
Yeah, it was
I'm
fun.
going to see what we're going to do again this week. But we always have a great time on Free For All Fridays. And of course, if you hit that follow button on my page or on Twitter or wherever you see me, you'll definitely see any kind of pop-up streams I do. Get that notification. So just search BLUB0 NES.
Nice. How about you, Kibo? What do you have coming up this week that you want folks to check out?
This week we got the finale of the Tales of Symphonia.
Yes.
Game. So
I've been
we got
watching
that coming up.
Nice.
The game is Ash's favorite game, so I was like, I gotta play it for my brother. The game is pretty good. Because I am an adult and I've seen so many plot points, I can understand. Like, I gotta saw things ahead of time, but if like I can still feel like the emotion behind it, and it still lasts. And they had a couple of like quality of life things that was really good. So come watch us fight the final boss, whatever that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And then follow me on Twitch at Keyba KEYBA_EXE.
Yeah, it's right.
I do some random streams.
Right above your name.
You got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
So follow him right there.
And that's pretty much my Twitter and everything. You'll see me make some videos. Like I said earlier, I got some things down the pipeline for that. I'm really excited to get those out. Flex my skills a little bit. And then the lady and I, Miss T, as y'all see on our Phoenix streams, we're planning on adding some people to our last case for Phoenix Wright and trilogy.
Okay.
So we're gonna add some beautiful voices, and solve these mysteries together. Hopefully, you all will join us for that.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
I'm excited for that.
Definitely.
Nice. Definitely check out Kiba_EXE and see his content. You guys can find me at SigmaGears9 on all social media platforms or whatever you want to call them. Follow my Twitter to see what I'm doing. Later today, though, Super Smash Sunday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come through if you want to run these fights. Oh, no, I lost Blue's camera. But anyway, they should still be able to hear me. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But come through later in the day. Please also check out the Escapist Movies channel. It's a separate channel from the Escapist, where they put all the movies content now, so that you guys don't get bombarded with notifications, or at least you can get the notifications if you subscribe to both and hit that little bell icon. I'm on a new show called A Marvelous Escape, which is all about all the Marvel stuff that's going to be coming out. We have 2 episodes out now about the first 3 episodes of WandaVision. So check that out. I'm on the show with Jack Packard and Darren Mooney. We have great conversations, deep diving into that show, and we'll be doing it every Saturday. Well, we record earlier than that, but the shows will come out every Saturday, every week, as long as they're making Marvel content. So check that stuff out. We really want to push the movies channel a little bit more so we can have more content, more TV movie content for you guys in the coming weeks. So definitely check that stuff out. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming through. We really appreciate your support. Thank you, Blue Bones. Thank you, Kiba. Bye, everybody.
Deuces.